Welcome to AZPM News Daily, a wrap-up of all the day's news from Arizona Public Media. I'm Steve Jess, and on our Wednesday podcast, Pima County pauses new data centers. In the governor's race, Republicans are unhappy that Democrats won't debate.
I think it's very disrespectful to the people, to the voters of Arizona.
And if you're up late tonight, there's a show in the night sky.
You need to actually stay outside for a significant period of time to enjoy the Perseid meteor shower.
That's ahead on this Wednesday, August 12th, 2026. To start us off today, in a 3-2 vote, the Pima County Board of Supervisors approved a moratorium on data centers toward the end of its Tuesday night meeting. Supervisors Rex Scott and Steve Christie vote no. Scott requested a roll call vote and said due to advice of legal counsel he'd be voting no. The supervisors have directed county staff to develop a resolution until a zoning code text amendment has been completed. Once the draft is prepared, it'll be released for public and stakeholder input and advanced through the county's Planning and Zoning Commission. A judge has ordered Republican lawmakers to rewrite the description of a school voucher reform measure that will go into the voter information pamphlet. From Phoenix, Wayne Schutzke reports.
Maricopa County Superior Court Judge Daniel Martin said it was wrong for lawmakers to tell voters that if Proposition 212 is approved, it will give initiative organizers the right to go to court and sue participating families if they violate any of the new rules in the ballot measure. Martin concluded that isn't true, and he ordered the Republican-controlled Legislative Council to rewrite its description of the proposal that will be sent to all voters in an informational brochure. It was only a partial victory for the initiative's backers, as the judge rejected several other complaints about the council's description of the measure. A spokesman for House Speaker Steve Montenegro, who chairs the council, said lawyers for the legislature are reviewing the ruling. Wayne Schutzke, Phoenix.
The Arizona Supreme Court recently ruled clergy don't have to report child abuse they learn of during confessions. In a separate ruling, the court has now determined that such confessions are protected under law only if spiritual matters are the reason for the dialogue. It comes from a case where court documents say a church pastor admitted to sexually abusing his co-pastor's niece. The co-pastor secretly recorded the conversation. The pastor tried to block it from being used in court on the grounds it was a privileged church confession. This Supreme Court ruled the laws would apply only if the conversation was centered on spiritual forgiveness or guidance. Instead, the conversation at hand focused on the pastor's reputation. Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs' pick for lieutenant governor, former Mesa Mayor John Giles, is not going to participate in any public debates. Her opponent, Republican candidate Andy Biggs, chose Sina Kerr as his lieutenant governor pick. Kerr says she will participate and that Giles is doing a disservice to voters by refusing.
It's really unfortunate that they don't, want to stand for a debate. They don't want to answer tough questions. I think it's very disrespectful to the people, to the voters of Arizona.
Hobbs campaign manager Nicole Dumont said in a statement that the Hobbs-Giles campaign believes, in their words, face-to-face engagement with Arizonans is more effective than debating. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says it plans to deploy body cameras to agents by the end of this month, but whether the public will actually see the footage is another question. As the Associated Press reports, ICE's policy, issued in February of last year, says the agency will expeditiously review body camera footage in the event of serious harm or deaths in custody, and could release it within 72 hours, but only if it's determined that it's in the best interest of the agency to do so. On Tuesday, Governor Katie Hobbs announced an economic agreement with northern Arizona tribal leaders intended to bolster the Four Corners region at a time when the coal industry is in decline. We hear more from Gabriel Pietrorazio.
The MOU is between the Navajo Nation, Hopi tribe, and the state, all of which are vulnerable to coal mines and power plants shutting down. That includes the Four Corners plant, which could close by 2031. The Navajo-owned company that fuels the aging facility recently announced plans to extend the life of a massive coal mine by more than a century. But with coal giving way to cleaner, more efficient fuels, state and tribal leaders are coming together to ink a 5-year commitment to track closures and promote the well-being of coal miners. Gabriel Pietrorazio, Phoenix.
A drug-resistant fungal infection that can infect blood, wounds, and other parts of the body is spreading in Arizona and other states. Arizona has seen more than 300 cases of Candida auris since 2022. Pima County Health Department epidemiologist Elena Acosta-Zavala says symptoms can vary because the infection can appear in many parts of the body.
Candida auris can spread through contact with affected patients and also with contaminated surfaces or equipment around the infected or affected patient.
She says hand washing is the best way to prevent infection. Across the country, 27 states are seeing a rise in the number of infections caused by the yeast, according to the University of Texas at San Antonio. This is Drowning Impact Awareness Month. Laura Holansky spoke to members of the Golder Ranch Fire District about the importance of the initiative.
Since May of 2026, Golder Ranch Fire District has been alerted to 5 non-fatal drownings. Throughout August, the district is raising awareness through their social media sites. Eric Perry with the district emphasized the importance of CPR training and swim lessons in order for the kids to stay safe at pools and even bathtubs.
The biggest one, I would say, is that active adult supervision. It is so easy, especially with cell phones, to get your attention diverted for a second, and next thing you know, you look back and your child's underwater.
When it comes to toddlers, an inch of water is enough for them to drown. Perry highlighted that floaties are not life vests. The fire district continues to raise awareness through this month by sharing the ABCs of water safety and cool pool rules. Laura Holansky, AZPM News.
Arizonans will be scanning the sky tonight for a glimpse of the year's biggest shooting star event. Tony Perkins tells us more.
If the monsoon clouds clear, skywatchers will have a chance to see 100 objects per hour associated with the Perseid meteor shower after midnight. University of Arizona Stewart Observatory astronomer Adam Block explains the shooting stars will be easily visible, but catching them takes patience.
It isn't something that will be instantly obvious. You need to actually stay outside for a significant period of time to enjoy the Perseid meteor shower.
The meteor shower happens when the Earth passes through an interstellar dust field left by the Swift-Tuttle comet. That connection was first made by astronomers in the 1860s. I'm Tony Perkins, AZPM News.
And now you've caught up on the stories we've covered today at Arizona Public Media. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to AZPM News Daily wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Steve Jess, and we'll be back tomorrow.